Who is y'all to tell me what he diagnosed with, what he look like, what he sound like? Y'all don't know nothing about God, and y'all don't know nothing about nothing. You talking to me like that, so I rebuke everything y'all saying about my child, to be honest.
It's time to just say what it is so that you can stop being embarrassed and harboring that guilt. I literally spoke what I saw because I was in shock.
Chrisean took her son to a church function. Everyone saw that he hadn't improved much because she had chosen to keep him off social media. Many others were concerned about his health since she denied his needs and thought his issues would be resolved later, but she was completely mistaken. A doctor who watched his live video stream on X confirmed what most people had been speculating about all along. Junior may never be able to speak unless they provide him with significant support to address his developmental requirements. As if the delays weren't bad enough, Blueface's mother made things worse by blaming Chrisean for her son's behavior. Having streamed her birth live since Chrisean first formally introduced him to the public, she returned to Instagram after being away for months to extol his virtues. People weren't really observing any of that because the baby didn't move his head or have hand-eye coordination. But when they heard him cry, that's what really made them smile. Kron was trying his hardest to pretend that nothing was wrong while he was howling like a cat in a live webcast. She defended the Blueface tattoo on her face, and her child started crying in the background. When she shared another video of herself feeding him, fans noticed that something wasn't quite right. They also pointed out that he was nearly 8 months old, and didn't really react to the food or the spoon until it was close enough to him. When an 8-month-old sees food, why doesn't he want to grab it? Why didn't he behave the way other babies do when food is nearby? She received backlash for drinking and smoking while she was. As one individual put it, Chrisean Rock is in denial when it comes to Junior, suggesting that his condition was brought on by bearing him. He isn't reaching his objectives. When on his stomach, he should be able to support his head and torso with strength. He doesn't coo or smile either. People were saying that Chrisean Jr.'s illness was chronic, a genetic disorder that had nothing to do with his smoking and drinking. In contrast, Chrisean shouted at people and did not put up with the remark, calling it hate speech. Noted that the milestones being discussed were fabricated to cheer up a parent, not to genuinely celebrate a child's development. How does that make sense? Yes, you would be pleased to see your child succeed in certain areas, but you are all aware of how much work it takes to conceive and raise a child. These benchmarks provide everyone a sense of where their children are and help parents easily identify and cure developmental problems if their child isn't doing certain tasks at the proper age. Medical experts who posted comments online claimed that Chrisean's child possessed all of fetal alcohol syndrome characteristics. He had a small cranium, a flat face, big low-set ears, and small eyes with folds in one corner. His high-pitched screaming might have been the consequence of obscene conversation, but it could also have been the effect of infant alcohol withdrawal. Additionally, when he is photographed, his pupils appear white rather than red, which may indicate that he has a visual impairment. Chrisean, however, didn't appear to care and has asked that people refrain from trying to diagnose him. After taking him to the doctor, she said she discovered no issues with him.
Diagnosed my baby on the internet. My baby is healthy. They would have told me he had syndrome. He's healthy, bro. Just because that picture wasn't that cute doesn't mean I could diagnose my baby on the internet. That shit is wild.
And Chrisean would have released the video to disprove her detractors if she'd ever taken her child to the doctor and everything had been fine. Actually, she was recording every moment of her child's life. She's been reprimanded by Blueface, who I might add is just as lazy as Crotch, for delaying their son's hernia surgery, claiming she had other obligations when the condition deteriorated. Only after Blueface's outburst did she take Junior to have surgery, and she wrote about how quickly he was recovering. Chrisean shared a video of her son attempting to walk in order to disprove the claims that he was not improving. We had never seen him walk, talk, hold a spoon, laugh, or do anything else that a typical 1-year-old child should be able to do at this age, but it only confirmed what everyone else had been saying. Her former closest friend Janet added fuel to the fire by implying that Chrisean is denying that Junior needs assistance, and she was chastised for wanting a kid just to keep her relationship with Blueface intact.
When
people are in denial of stuff, it's like you can't help people when they're in denial of what's actually going on in reality.
After all of the criticism, Chrisean eventually stopped posting about him on social media and avoided him in public. When she sang her new song for the first time in a long time, she took her son to church. Because he's nearly 2 years old, people aren't upset about his condition. Rather, they are upset because he's a victim of his surroundings. And all we witnessed his parents doing was a lot of strange, poisonous, and immature things that resulted in the immaturity and adverse circumstances surrounding their son's birth, are demonstrated by Cash's ongoing denial and her refusal to take additional steps to help her child. The fact that Blue's mother, Clarissa, has stated time and time again that her child does, in fact, have a problem doesn't help either. Clarissa explained that it's still heartbreaking to see Chrisean in this way when there were so many other possibilities, even if she has never been fond of him and may have transferred some of her rage and frustration to Junior.
It crushed my heart to look at my grandbaby and see that, and that was my first time seeing it.
Oh God.
And it did. It crushed my heart a little bit. It did. But I love all my kids no matter what I told you, whether they slow, need a helmet, whether they got nappy hair, whether they short, funny looking. I love all my grandkids, but I ain't gonna lie. My first initial thought when I saw him in that restaurant, it crushed me. And for her to say she wanted to stomp me out, girl, I can't even tell you what my mind wanted to do to you once I looked in his face and I didn't know if he was looking at me, you, or the air. I was hurt, genuinely hurt.
She would have to take responsibility for her actions and come under public scrutiny if she acknowledged what everyone has been saying is true. After they all saw her smoke and drink as if she didn't care, it has all led to this.
I said she drank, and because I hear the cry and I see what y'all see, I do feel like there could be some type of neurological problem. I do see that. I'm not blind and I'm not dumb. I'm not fixing to play blind or...
People had bad things to say about Chrisean Sr. after witnessing Crone Jr.'s actions. She made a truly bad decision with this one, Cash. Therefore, it's time for her to stop being the victim. She ruined it, even if the baby didn't ask to be born in this chaos. For him, that is a sad infant. Why are people surprised by Chrisean's son's possible special needs? Zeus captured her smoking during her pregnancy on camera. Because she was unprepared to have a kid, her carelessness resulted in the infant's suffering. I feel sorry for her. Son, not for her. She knows she's to blame for his predicament. Therefore, she refuses to acknowledge the fact that she is in excruciating pain behind closed doors. I believe she realizes she is to blame for his shortcomings. Instead, she continued to hope that he improves. If a kid is still unable to walk, talk, or even babble at 20 months, it's a serious red flag. Perhaps no one is there to support and assist Cash and Flag, any mother going through a lot. What do you think about this issue? In addition to leaving a comment with your ideas, please remember to like and subscribe, as there will be more videos in the future. I'll see you in the next video.